All right. So this Friday, I was clowning around first thing this morning, surfing the internets as I'm known to do. Yeah, people know that you do that. Yeah. I'm that one guy in America who watches YouTube videos.
No.
And this morning, I stumbled across, it's probably the second book I ever owned. Corduroy. I love Corduroy. Yeah. Do you guys remember a book called Corduroy? Michael, did you ever read Corduroy? Oh yeah, I loved Corduroy. That book had a huge influence on my art and stuff. Yeah, I was thinking about that. This book is really, I think it's kind of the precursor, or it planted the seeds for what became Little Cutie. Michael Lyons, for anybody new to the show, is a rock star cartoonist. When he's not being a rock star, he draws cartoons and children's books and that, and comics. But I stumbled across this, and I watched a review where somebody just read the book. And by the end, I had tears in my eyes. Why? Because it was so beautiful. I don't know. I think it was, I also got kind of sentimental about something. So I want to give a quick review of the book Corduroy. Kids, Corduroy is a book that was written way back in the days of the grandfathers by somebody named Don Freeman. Don Freeman was Morgan Freeman's dad. Is that true? I have no idea. Probably not. I just made that up. But Morgan Freeman is Jimi Hendrix. Yeah, that much we know. That much we know. But Don Freeman, in like the 60s or something, wrote and illustrated, I'm guessing. He must have been the illustrator too. And it's the most gorgeous illustrations too. This is just pen and like watercolor, I think. So I'm going to butcher this telling of this story, but this is Corduroy. Back in the days of the grandfathers, there was a little stuffed bear called Corduroy, and he had green overalls, but he was missing a button. So one day he was just sitting in the store there, and he was standing by a rabbit, and a little girl and a giraffe. And it was the 60s, so, I mean, just look at that artwork. I just love it. And so you're sitting there one day, and a little girl comes up, and she's like, "Hey, Mom, look at this teddy bear. Oh, he's just cute. Can I take him home?" And the mom was like, "Oh, come on now. I've already spent too much money. Leave that bear where he is." And I don't think he's new. He's missing a button. Anyway, let's go on home. And she's like, "Okay." And she's just cute. Kind of reminds me of Aubrey in Michael's book, Little Cutie. Yeah. And so then she walks away. And Corduroy, he looks down, and for the first time he's like, "Hey, I am missing a button. What is that?" And he's feeling kind of sad because he got passed over that little girl. He wanted to go home with the girl. So at night, when everybody else was asleep, and look at that, it's just a splash of blue and purple to make it look like night in the watercolor. He went out looking for that button. And he went up to the escalator, and he was like, "Oh, wow, what is this now? Is this a mountain? I've never been off that shelf before, but I got to find that button." And so he stepped on the escalator, and he started to ride it up. And he was like, "Oh, wow, look at this thing. I feel like Donald Trump." No. He's like, "I feel like Donald Trump running for president." And he gets to the second floor, and what's up there? It's a bunch of furniture. There's a couch and a bunch of 70s lamps and a whole row of beds. And he was like, "Oh, wow, what is this? The three little pigs, or the three bears? Only it's like a dozen bears? Did they go out and little whatever?" So he climbs up onto the mattress there. And he was like, "Oh, wow, there's my button. Somebody sewed it to this mattress." And he went up there to grab his button so he could fix his bib overalls. And he pulls on it, and he pulls and pulls and pulls, and it's just, it's sewed on. It takes a little tugging to get that off. But Little Mukwa, little bear, Makunts, we call him, little bear cub. He pulls and he falls off the mattress and he knocks over a lamp. He's like, "Aye, aye," and he falls down and that lamp falls. It's the smash. He makes all this noise. Well, what happens? The old mall cop. He's like, "Hey, what's going on down here?" Mall cop comes running down looking for, I guess he was up on the 3rd floor. Goes, "Is there a robber in here? I don't even know." So he turns on that flashlight and he's looking around. Goes, "Man, I don't like this. I hope this place isn't haunted." Yeah. And look at that. It's 2 little bear ears. That's the artwork. It's a line and a couple of lines and splash, but we all know that's a teddy bear under a sheet, and it's genius. And then he's like, "Hey, what do we got here? Little teddy bear." And then you just look at that teddy bear's expression. He's got like an expression like a regular animal, you know, that's whatever. But then he goes to sleep with the other toys. In the morning, that girl comes back and she's like, "Hey, guess what? I grabbed my my babysitting money and my allowance, and I got enough to buy you." And so she picked him up and she took him home, or she paid for him or something. And the shop clerk was like, "Yeah, you want this little teddy bear? Sure. He still doesn't have a button, but..." And then there's a lion looking at her. Look at that. And she goes, "Hey, you want a box to carry that toy home?" She goes, "Nope, I'll take him home in my arms." And she picks up that old bear and she just takes him home. Runs up the stairs, just happy. "This is your new home," she says. "I'm going to call you Corduroy." And she carries him up to her apartment. And there she is, and look how beautiful she is. Just a beautiful little girl with her teddy bear. And I'll never forget that quilt blanket. You know, that looked so cozy when I was a little kid. And she's like, "This is your new home. You're going to be my teddy bear." And that's the story of Corduroy. Oh, but then she did sew on a button. She fixed that button. And look at that little girl. She even knows how to sew buttons on. I know, and she's so smart. Yep. And you can see an expression in his face. Look how happy he is. Happy and peaceful. And then finally, the most beautiful shot, the little girl hugging a teddy bear. I just love that drawing. And so, I mean, that's Corduroy. The most beautiful little children's book. I don't know if people expected me to trash it. But by the time I was done watching that video and just looking at those cartoons, I don't know, I teared up. You old sad sap. I am a sad sap. Corduroy by Don Freeman. I hope I didn't just do a copyright strike. I think that's okay if you do a review of a book. I give Corduroy by Don Freeman 2 thumbs up. Or 5 stars. Or whatever it is, the good thing. Check out Corduroy. Huh? Yeah, I love Corduroy. What do you like better? Where the Wild Things Are or Corduroy? Before today, I would have said Where the Wild Things Are. Now, I think I prefer Corduroy. Because that guy is they're both great artists. I don't know. It's so easy to tear down pop culture now, you know. Most things that are created suck. You think so? Yeah. I don't know. Hey, if you'd like to support the show, if you'd like to support BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO, you can click the links in the description box to either Patreon. On Patreon, you can give us a little bit of money every month, and we'll send you a book. PayPal, you can send us a little tip, or you can go to GoFundMe.com and help us raise money. We have a GoFundMe campaign. Otherwise, if you'd like to order Ojibwe language books by me, Michael Lyons, the rock star cartoonist, you can click the links to Amazon.com and order got coloring books, comic books, children's picture books, like OJIBWE, and dog and manga, BOOZHOO OJIBWE, many more. Click the links below. Miigwech.